From Taschen Books, yet another amazing EC book. This one is huge, 500 odd pages. However, when I say huge, you can see by the size of my hand, it's not as huge, of course, as the super expensive one. But this is the small one, and the key thing to notice, it's the new trend. Make certain you see new trend. It's not the new direction, it's not pre-trend. It does sort of briefly mention that, but it really concentrates on the new trend. So let's just go through it. Absolutely superb book still. It's one of those standard books that Taschen bring out, sort of smaller size one. It's priced at about £25 in the UK. I'm not certain the price in the US. But this one, always just great, super great quality. And it starts obviously with a quick introduction about the father, and then on to Bill Gaines, and then on to a really lovely picture of some kids reading some comics. You can't beat that. I would buy a book of that if I could. Of course, you got there Feldstein and Gaines, and also this as well, which is about VD. I mean, quite an unusual one. I don't know if this has been reprinted in any of the Dark Horse or the Fantagraphic books, but still great to see it in here. Now, this book has lots of pictures that you've probably seen before. You've probably seen lots of these things, especially if you buy the artisan editions, etc., as well as, of course, other books on EC. But I still think it's great. Goes through all the various things like war, science fiction, of course, all those sort of things. Kurtzman, all the superb artists. There were so many brilliant artists. Wally Wood, of course, probably, for me, the number one. Johnny Craig, of course, superb as well. This one, neat job. Lots of great quality pictures, obviously from the comics themselves. Nice quality. Some quite small ones. It's a bit odd when you get a page where you've got a bit of gap there, but still no big deal. I still think it's pretty good. Fired, I was going to say Fred. It's not. You've got an advert as well. You've got lots of adverts and things, which I think the night before Christmas, which I think is great. You've also got Mad, also Panic, of course, all those ones, and also Piracy, which I must admit, I always think of as one of the new direction and not new trend, but I know it's not. It just came really at the end of that time. Still, I really love those ones, as well as MD, psychoanalysis, etc., but they just don't get any mention in here. It's mainly, of course, the horror, science fiction. I mean, they're superb. I love those ones. Things like here, weird science fantasy. Of course, the annuals. I've got one of the annuals. It's really an unusual comic. Just brilliant. Also, of course, you've got all the various characters that turned up in here. Also, I love this. Of course, you've got some lovely pencil work there, the Spawn of Venus. Also talks about the 3D ones as well. And, of course, you've got Mad as well. I just think that's just great, the magazine, of course. However, now about 300 pages into it, it suddenly changes. And it's a bit of a shock because it suddenly goes for all the covers. So you've got here the Vault of Horror. And, well, that's it. Vault of Horror, Tales from the Crypt. Now, some pages, you've got obviously 4 on a page, which is weird because sometimes the choice, I think that's a great cover. However, and that one is just a classic cover as well. And it gets obviously a small quarter size. You, of course, got the other ones there. And you go through here, you've got weird science. In many ways, I would love to see a book this size, or obviously bigger, even better, all full of all the covers, because there was about 500-ish various covers, if you include the pre-trend and also New Direction, etc. I don't know if anyone's counted them, but I think it's about 500. And I think they could have just done a book that's just solid covers, reasonable size. Something like The Art of Jack Kirby would be sort of great one where you've got those beautiful covers. And, of course, you've got the war comics there, frontline combat, as well as crime suspense. And also, one thing that's really quite nice, it includes this, which I must admit I've never seen any of these. These are the Canadian ones. Very odd, faded sort of cover. You've got that, really looks pretty strange. A pity in many ways. It would have been great if they'd included the UK ones, because we did have a few UK ones. Obviously, they were, I assume, and I've never seen one, they were in black and white. You've got Shock Suspense, of course you've got the Mad, those ones, as well as, of course, I assume Panic a bit further on. Classic Panic there. Gives a little brief, sort of give details about it, obviously the dates, etc. I've got probably 4 or 5 of the Panics. I haven't got any Mads now. I used to have some Mads. I've got I did have some piracy ones. I love those. Of course, you've got the annuals, and then on to the end. And that's it. An absolutely glorious book. Only minor criticism, and it's a case with quite a few of these books. I often get, they have this, which I always tuck into the back, but it wraps around the front. I mean, you might like that. You might like to have it covered there. I guess it obviously protects it from any sunlight damage, but it just gets in the way. It's just a fiddly thing. I just personally don't like it. You've got some more covers there, and then on to the final bit of the book. And I think it's just great. Really nice edition. Now, of course, there are some others, and I will show those in a short while, books that you can perhaps be interested in as well. But this one, I think, is a great addition to anyone's EC Comics library. I love good old book about EC Comics. So there you have it, the new trend EC Comics. This is by Grant Geissman. I don't know how you say that. 500 odd pages, really lovely book. You can see it's very, very small. Now, would it be nice? Well, it would have been really nice if it had been this sort of size. I mean, you can obviously see there, the sort of Art of Jack Kirby, or of course, the massive £150 volume that came out a little while ago. Now, that one, I think, covered a lot greater period of time. So this one is nice. It's really, see, obviously, if you're looking for the really big one, I would suggest check that one out. But if you want a smaller copy that fits nicely on the shelves, I think this book is just great. And it's like I say, it's a quality book, the quality paper, really, really nice paper. And I just love it. Real nice one. But as mentioned, of course, if you're an EC fan, I am certain you've probably got loads of books, reference books on EC Comics. And now just move that one out, the Marvel one. It's not obviously anything to do with EC, but I thought I'd show it in terms of what would be brilliant to bring out a massive cover book. But still, what we've got, this one, Tales of Terror. This is brilliant. This is an absolutely superb book. Now, I did originally have this in the paperback version. I couldn't get it anywhere. Just happened to pick it up one day at a comic mart for next to nothing. I thought, yes, I will definitely have this again. I always regretted getting rid of it because it's a really impressive book, complete compendium. It's got just so much information about EC Comics. And you've also got the covers again. But this one, of course, also includes the stories. So, and also the artists as well, which in many ways would have been a nice addition to that book as well. But you just can't have everything. Maybe an index in the back would have been really nice. But this has just got lots of interviews and a lot more. It's just superb book. I've always loved this one. But the pictures are very small. They're not exactly huge covers. So that is one thing I think that this book does bring, a bigger size. But wouldn't it be great? Massive big covers. Now, I assume in the other book, and please put in the comments below if you got that book, were the covers in there as well? And were they huge in that? Maybe the cover book has been done in that massive volume. I've never, well, I did look at it ages ago. I think they had a copy of it in Selfridges or something they were having on display, or one of those sort of shops. And I thought, oh, you know what? I must have a quick thumb through. Can't remember anything particularly about it, but still, foul play. This is also another one of those just superb books. Again, it's got lots of pictures of the covers, and of course, you've got some big covers there, and also some pages of comics, and also many, many other things as well, of course, about EC Comics. This one is absolutely superb, and this one was 20 quid. I think I got this from an estate sale, one of those ones that you think, oh, you know what, and it's, again, it's by Grant Geissman, however you say his name, but a lovely book as well. So that is this book, just come out. I've been waiting for it quite a while. It's been on pre-order for ages. So 1950 to 1954, Taschen cover gallery. And that for me was the big clue that it wasn't going to be the same. I don't know why they just didn't bring out the other book and just did it like that. I guess there was reasons. I don't know. Please put in the comments below if you can obviously think, because the page count, I think, was about the same. I don't know how many pages were in the other one, but they could have maybe done that. Because I assume, and I've always been assuming that many of these volumes that get obviously this size are fairly similar to the original. Obviously, I was, in this case, definitely wrong. But this is a lovely book. Are you going to pick this up? Have you got any plans to get this one? And obviously, any of the because they're doing this series of Taschen books. I think they've only done one so far. Is that the only one they've done? I think it was Weird Science. I didn't get it, mainly because I've got lots and lots of the reprints anyway. And also I've got a few of the Weird Science, so I didn't particularly want to buy that book. And also it's just too big. But still, did you get that as well? That's another thing. If you're an EC fan, you get everything. I know. That's what, whenever I look online, there's always pictures of all the people put their libraries, and they've just got every book you can ever imagine about EC Comics. So I guess that this one, Entertaining Comics, is one for that shelf as well. Bye.